Aloha, this is Anna Surfing. Welcome to Beach Broadcast. Today is Wednesday, August 6th, 2025. Well, I guess there's some people finding me on Twitter again, or X again. So you can go here to the links to find out where my videos are. YouTube, I have some it's still sticking, which is great. So that's where I'm having my daily shows. And then I have my very short versions of the shows on Rumble. I'm telling you, we have the most awesome president. He's so cool. He's just goes there. He's blunt. He's bold. He's not holding back. He's dropping bombs, including the rooftop bombs. President Trump, he's up here on the rooftop. And he's doing his shimmy shimmy dance, his popular shimmy shimmy dance. This is fantastic. Boy, I'll tell you, he is like that troll master. Embrace these moments, guys, because these are, oh man, I'm telling you, President Trump, he is having a blast right now. But President Trump is talking about federalizing DC. Trump, quote unquote, renovations are very massive. Rooftop hints. Oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. President Trump was on the rooftop. This is how I looked at it. You decide. It's all up to you to decide here, but there's many, many hints. President Trump is up there. The press was asking him questions, and it's like, Mr. President, what are you doing up there? He goes, I'm just taking a look. I mean, he was there. He was looking down the chimney. Okay, there's lots of Christmas hints too. He is in control, standing on top of the most honored building in DC, the People's House, but he's standing on top of the White House. Doesn't that tell you something about that he's incredibly confident about where he is and standing there? He is on the building using his own money to do quote unquote renovations. He's building a ballroom. He's using his own money, and some people are donating as well, but it's not tax dollars. He's up on the rooftop to prove to the world he is untouchable, and he's standing high above it all, above reporters and all other occupied buildings in DC. So we are watching President Trump. He is making a very strong stance on what he's doing and how renovations are going to be taking place. Now, what kind of renovations? Isn't it interesting? About a month ago, we discussed how DC, the judicial system, doesn't follow federal laws. Now, you can click on here. It takes you to the full podcast. The podcast is about 2 minutes to read, if even that. But it's about DC is not a state, nor is it federal. The laws for DC are neither state or federal. It is that of a federal district and under laws of the Constitution. Yet Congress can change the laws of the Constitution because, AI was really messed up, and AI really doesn't like me right now. Okay, half of AI says and there's two different reasons I had, and this is back on July 10th. AI1 says, because I was asking about treason trials, AI1 says treason trials are heard in Supreme Court. AI2 says treason trials are held in federal court. Okay, now if they are pursued in DC, what court do they go to, right? If treason is committed in DC, from a player or agency, it cannot be heard in federal court. And what laws will abide to it if it is heard by SCOTUS, right? So SCOTUS is going to say, okay, what laws? Is it a federal? Is it a state law? Okay, Comey, Brennan, they're now under investigation, and there's a lot more since then, but that was back in July 7th or July 10th of 2025. Again, under investigation in the public eye, and then eventually Tulsi Gabbard released the DNI. She's the declassified documents of Russiagate. Obamagate, let's just put it that way. But if they're indicted with treason or other high crimes, no court can hear their case in the public eye. You with me? So see where Trump is going? He has to do things the right way. The military is the only way, and military trials. When Trump says he could run DC, he needs to run DC for any justice things to happen in the public eye. That would mean DC has fallen and the military takes over. Now, will states begin to deputize National Guard, the military, to become judges, just like DeSantis did at Alligator Alcatraz? Because remember back in June, July, when they opened up Alligator Alcatraz, DeSantis talked about how he deputized the National Guard and other, quote unquote, other folks, right? Now, let's take a look back at June 14th, or actually mid-June, after the military parade. A parade is normally a celebration, right? Usually when a parade happens, especially the military, they are celebrating. But I'm not going to go into the details of this, but kind of giving you a summation. We took back control, military parade. It gave us so many columns. It even talked about the Capitol in free fall. And also a couple days later after the parade, they raised the flags and pretty much that they have conquered DC. So it's freedom from the swamp slavery. We're no longer dealing with the DC swamp. President Trump, truth at 23:56 military time, referring to the incompetence, the non-government entity of which is the Federal Reserve. Here's his Truth Social post here on this, but too late. And it's at 23:46. Powell's the worst. He's a dummy, costing America billions. Fannie, Freddie, regulator, Powell should cut rates or quit. Now, of course, he hasn't quit. Here it is a month later. He's still there. But let's look at that 23:56. Military time. It is today the Republic took back control. So now we're going to watch what we call is showtime. There's much to be done today. The Republic took back control. Q plus. Q plus ordinarily means President Trump, right? He's the one that wrote that post. Interesting that Pappy Trumbo, which is President Trump's burner account, he posted. He already confirms that Trump is the Fed chairman. That's that Q post. So you can look at that Q post. There it is. But this public release process has to be timed with precision. Remember when President Trump, through Il Donato, says, am I allowed to appoint myself as the head of the Fed? I do a better job than Powell. Oh, my gosh. Okay, so there is the beginning of my podcast. I'm going to refer to this post a few other times in the coming days because the military sent out a huge comp by playing this music, Enter Sandman, which is Operation Sandman, and then there's a few others, and then the Genius Act, and then the Rainbow, and all of that. So I'll get to that in another time, but I wanted to go ahead and really talk about this. Am I allowed to appoint myself as the head of the Fed? That was what President Trump posted on his Il Donato account. Yesterday, on August 5th, we learned that one of the most brilliant Doge staffers, Edward Korestein, also known as Big Balls, was beaten by teenage thugs. He was trying to protect a lady who was getting attacked or was on the verge of getting attacked by teenage thugs, and then those thugs went ahead and beat up Edward or Big Balls, let's just call him. President Trump, he makes this announcement. Check this out.
By the way, I have to say that somebody from Doge was very badly hurt last night. You saw that. A young man who was beat up by a bunch of thugs in D.C. And either they're going to straighten their act out in the terms of government and in terms of protection, or we're going to have to federalize and run it the way it's supposed to be run.
You guys, President Trump went there. He's already talking about federalizing D.C. You know how massive that is? It's ginormous. Federalizing D.C. Now, I'm going to open that post. And there's quite a few articles as well that President Trump is already talking about treating 14-year-olds and older as an adult in the criminal justice system. Now, this happened in D.C. This is the Doge staffer that got beaten up. But this right here is the current situation of D.C. D.C. is a unique entity. It's not part of any state and is governed by a combination of local authorities and the U.S. Congress. While the city has its own mayor and council, Congress retains significant oversight power over its laws and budget. The proposal, the idea of federalizing D.C. suggests a shift in this balance. No duh, with the federal government potentially taking over more of the city's government. This could mean federal government directly controlling areas like law enforcement, public safety, the city's budget. Oh, and let's just also say the judicial system. I'm just adding that. X went ahead and they actually gave me a warning on this post. So if I get suspended, well, Proverbs says that God demands fairness in every business deal, but they gave me a warning about this post, that this is a post everybody is sharing, and they gave me this warning. They said it contains some, and I'm like, everybody's sharing it, including the White House and the Trump team, but no, they went ahead and flagged me. But why is this so this tells me there's something big to this, okay? Why is this ginormous? Because DC is not a state. DC doesn't have any laws to adhere to. Many agencies in DC report to Congress that watches President Trump, his administration, his current administration, and us, MAGA. We work so hard to bring our rights back, yeah? And they're just sitting back, eating their popcorn, sipping on their boxed wine, and watching all of us do the heavy lifting. Congress has their own set of rules, and we know how dirty they are. And we put the people in Congress, we the people, we've lost a lot of trust in Congress. They have hearings, no results. They tout filings. We did this, we filed this, we did the, doing things. And then Congress has ended up starting all over with a new Congress. So we now are with 119th Congress and then, whatever. The Congress that has some members under investigation. And this is the, Congress, they've had people in Congress that have done criminal acts and nothing happens, right? So who reports to Congress? The Federal Reserve is one. Okay, so now we know that the Board of Governors, Federal Reserve, reports to and is directly accountable to the United States Congress. Okay, so if it's federalized, well, let's see where that goes. But when DC is and then the Board of Governors, a federal government agency, provides regular reports to Congress, including the monetary policy report submitted twice a year. The chair of the Fed Reserve testifies before Congress on monetary policy and other financial issues and meets periodically with the Secretary Treasury. While the Federal Reserve operates independently in settling monetary policy, it is required to align with the economic goals established by Congress and maintains transparent through public reporting and testimony. Yeah, right. Okay, man, that's a bunch of hogwash. Now, that came from AI, so okay, AI is really having a hard time with us doing searches right now. So when DC is federalized, then this private entity, again, my opinion, you decide, the Federal Reserve would fall under President Trump's full control under the federal government, and it goes back to this. President Trump through Il Donato. Am I allowed to appoint myself as the head of Fed? I do a better job than Powell, okay? He's been hinting, guys, we're not getting Q posts, but we're getting a lot of President Trump, Dan Scavino, and Trump team posts, right? So who else reports to Congress? I'm just going to show you this list. I'm not going to read all the agencies in it. You can take a look at it, click on the link in the article section of below. But here's just a little bit of who all of these different agencies that report to Congress. All right, so there's a lot. I'm going the Supreme Court, police even. Wow. All right, so there's a lot. Again, I don't want to read all of them, but just kind of giving you a little bit of a thumbnail sketch of all of the different agencies that report to Congress. But when it becomes federalized, would they all fall under President Trump's control and not Congress? What essentially is happening is Congress is going to lose a ton of power, a ton. Federalizing DC, it's monumental. Now Trump is talking about doing it. So here, federalizing DC, the idea of federalizing Washington, DC has been recently promoted by President Donald Trump, who suggested a federal takeover to address crime, claiming the federal government could run the city more effectively and flawlessly. This follows an incident where a worker associated with Doge was reportedly assaulted. He was assaulted, not reportedly, he was assaulted. And then prompting Trump to state that if DC does not straighten their act out, the federal government may step in to run it. However, such a move would require significant legal changes, including Congress repealing the Home Rule Act, which grants DC limited self-governance. So now we're beginning to see AI. They really are kind of cornered. They have to answer certain ways. Okay, I got another one for you, Ben. It's a doozy. But okay, so DC now, all of a sudden, Congress is saying, well, we have the power. We can do this. We're going to hold hearings and nothing happens. Well, federalizing the DC will have a huge impact on the upcoming hearings of the swamp, right? We have these hearings coming up. From what I understand, the list is even bigger than this, but this is what we're going to work with. Bill Barr, AG Alberto Gonzalez, Jeff Sessions, Mueller. Well, Mueller, apparently he's got some kind of, he went to, I don't know if he's got dementia or whatever. That was just reported today. Loretta Lynch, Holder, Garland, Comey, Hillary Clinton, and Bill Clinton. Okay, so now, okay, I know I'm talking really fast, guys, because I'm really excited, but here's just a short list of just a few of the swamp creeps that fear President Trump federalizing the DC. And these are current and former DC swamp rats under investigation. This is a short, super short list. So when President Trump federalizes DC, they will be heard by federal judges under the laws of federal laws. Okay. You guys following me now? All right. You got Obama, Brennan, Comey, Clapper, Schiff, Pelosi, AOC, Tlaib, Omar, Schumer, Smith, Jack Smith. These are they're referred for. Ron Johnson's already referred the top four: Obama, Brennan, Comey, Clapper, to Guantanamo Bay for treasonous conspiracy. And then Adam Schiff for mortgage fraud, Pelosi for insider trading, AOC, several different crimes. It's even Tom Homan's even going after her. Tlaib, campaign funds violations. The brother lover Omar, ethics and marrying her brother. That's actually a couple different, Tom Emmer and DOJ. Schumer for Operation Whirlwind. That's actually referred by Ed Martin. Jack Smith. Hatch Act violations referred by Senator Tom Cotton, and the list can go on and on. I just wanted to give you a snapshot of why this has to happen, right? And will it happen before I don't know, in the coming days, right? Is President Trump going to make an announcement this afternoon? He has a presser today at 4:30 p.m. today on the 6th of August, and I wonder what he's going to announce. Remember, USA Incorporated and it was formed by the Dirty DC in 1871, and that was unconstitutional. They took away the USA, many of you know this, but some of you are new. What they did is they took USA Incorporated, they incorporated DC, they turned it into Dirty DC. They had their own set of rules, their own constitution, they had their own set of laws, and they were considered untouchable. Yet, in May of 2020, they became bankrupt. May 4th of 2020, here's the filing of again, it was filed, and you and I, we all went through this back in 2020 when we used to see filings in the state of Delaware for United States Incorporated. And now you can't find those. They're kind of gone. But this is a document that was signed by President Trump, the President Chief Executive Officer of the United States. Okay, so now they're defunct. So now we're watching the rollout of sovereign America taking control of our country under the leadership of President Trump. Okay. AI was even challenged when I asked about the formation of USA Incorporated. Notice that I did not ask if they formed in 1871, but AI automatically referenced that day or that year, and they labeled it a conspiracy theory. Okay, so when was the United States Inc. formed? United States was not formed as a corporation. The idea that the United States is formed in 1871 is a baseless conspiracy theory without historical or legal foundation. The United States is a sovereign nation established through Declaration of Independence in 1776, blah, 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 formalized by the U.S. Constitution in 1787. The Act of 1871, officially known as the Act to provide a municipal government for D.C., created a local government for D.C. and did not transform the United States into a corporation. The notion that it did, blah, 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 wah, wah, wah. Okay, AI is not, they just don't like me right now. Okay, Grok's not even making images for me anymore. Little turkey butts. Okay, AI, whatever. Tinfoil hatters, we have been right 100, we're batting 1,000, okay? We've been right 100% of the time so far, okay? We're not looking for vindication. We just put things out there and y'all were right. Now remember, back in July 9th of 2025, President Trump, he said this about running D.C. Remember this?
We have tremendous power at the White House to run places when we have to. We could run D.C. I mean, we're looking at D.C. We don't want crime in D.C. We want the city to run well. Susie Wiles is working very closely with the mayor, and they're doing all right. I mean, in the sense that we would run it so good, it would be run so proper, we'd get the best person to run it, and the crime would be down to a minimal, would be much less. And we're thinking about doing it. To be honest with you, we want a capital that's run flawlessly, and it wouldn't be hard for us to do it. And we've had a good relationship with the mayor, and we're testing it to see if it works. We have tremendous power at the.
Okay. DC was our belligerent occupation under the Law of War Manual, and under Section 11.3, it talks about the military taking over. Now, President Trump already gave us a hint a month ago, almost a full month ago. Can you see how all of his, whether they're pressers or they're briefings or they are posts, they're just coming to fruition? That's the beauty of what we're seeing right now. He is sending so many messages, guys. So we're going to watch the implosion of a non-state private entity, DC, begin, right? USA Incorporated, that DC formed, is already bankrupt. I just showed that document. Sovereign Republic America incoming. It's another brilliant Trump move. Now things are really heating up. Dan Scavino's getting in on the heating up comms, okay? He's posted this. Believe in something even if it means sacrificing everything. Man, I'll tell you, it sounds to me that there's war, because we know that DC, dirty DC, they don't play nice. They play dirty. So we got Trump on the White House rooftop. So what that means is this. He is talking about, when he's looking out there and he's on the White House rooftop, think of this, guys. He's looking at the entire DC. He is in control. He is renovating all of DC. You see where I'm going with this? Announces federalizing DC. Announces treating 14-year-old thugs as adults. Texas Democrat arrest warrants are already out. And the subpoena to compel the swamp people. Well, they're not just going to be talking about swamp stuff. They're also being told to talk about Epstein. So if DC is federalized, then those DC swamp people, including politicians, they will be charged under federal laws. This was only Tuesday night when I posted this, guys. So here we are, Wednesday. Who knows what's going to happen in the next few days? Remember, Q said something big is about to drop. I don't even know if that's the big. Rocky Watts posted this on Rooftop. This is an 11/11, oh my gosh, 11/11/2022 post from President Trump. And this is when he was not in the public eye. We won. Pelosi is gone. We take Congress. And if we can stop their very obvious cheating, we'll also take the Senate. Big victory. Don't be stupid. Stand on the rooftop and shout it out loud. I find that kind of interesting, because is he saying Pelosi's bye-bye, dealt with, and we take Congress? Remember the unconditional surrender post from President Trump? That was about Congress. And if we stop the very cheating, we'll also take the Senate. So again, I'm just sharing that with you. I thought that was interesting. President Trump, then he even, okay, I love this president. He even, while he was doing his rooftop day, he even went to the gift shop, okay? Oh, I forgot to mention, too, on the Epstein, Ghislaine Maxwell, when she did her testimony last week, she told the DOJ that Trump never did anything concerning around her. So, and President Trump, while he was doing his rooftop thing, total trolling the media, he posted this, love the White House gift shop. Well, guys, take a look at what he's looking at. It's a Christmas ornament. Oh my gosh. That is so fantastic. President Trump, he's looking at Christmas ornaments in August. Now, some are thinking, is it going to happen in August? I look at this as that is Christmas the time frame, because he has mentioned in the past, after he signed the one big beautiful bill, and then the tariff deals came into play, he had made an announcement. He goes, it will take we're just now rolling it out. It will take about 5 to 6 months. Well, 5 to 6 months from that date would have put you right around Christmas time, right? So is it Christmas time? I'm just looking at the very conservative side here, but he's looking at an ornament, guys. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. And then Jody, she posted this. Santa Trump was on the roof inspecting how to get down the chimney. He was he was up there doing the shimmy shimmy dance. He was talking to reporters, and the reporters are screaming questions to him, and he's just like, I'm just looking up here. He's doing the shimmy shimmy dance. He's looking down the chimney. Okay. Santa Trump was on the roof inspecting how to get down the chimney for the Julian calendar, July 25th, which is tomorrow, August 7th, for Christmas in July. Or is it, again, according to the Julian calendar, which would be August 7th? Again, I am not going to put a date to anything, but is President Trump trying to get us? We've been excited about Christmas many times. I've learned the hard way. Don't like to quote dates. But we're seeing a lot more things happen now than we ever have, right? So President Trump, he is truly Mr. Santa. I'm so excited, guys. We do need to get our popcorn ready, and we do need to stay alert, please, because again, we know how dirty the dirty DC plays. They do not want this federalized DC, because it takes their control away. And they'll be so angry. Everyone at the dirty Congress will be so angry, because now all of a sudden there's going to be a set of laws that's going to be imposed on DC, especially with all the different investigations coming out. So, well, get yourself ready, guys. Stay frosty. For me, I'm going to get my dancing shoes ready and my popcorn. Okay, we're going to get ready. Getting our country back and having DC just wiped out as a separate little federal district, no laws, having laws under a federal ruling, it will be the best gift ever, ever, ever in our lifetime. Everything will start to really roll out beautifully. Oh, so get your Sammy dances ready, guys. I know we're going to be doing the Sammy dance, and so just be prepared for all the beautiful things. Stay alert, stay frosty, and know that God's got this. And thanks so much for listening to this podcast. And please follow me on YouTube at beach_broadcast so you can get the most current, up-to-date podcast. God bless you abundantly. Have a beautiful day, and I will have a show very soon. Aloha.